Hey guys, so today I'm going to be reading from the book of Mark, which is in the New Testament, chapter 5, and I'm going to be going from verse 21 through verse 43, but it's going to be two parts. It's going to be part 1 and part 2, and so this week and next week I'll be reading from this same passage. I'll just be breaking it up and really focusing on the two things that stood out to me the most in my quiet time with the Lord. So it starts out and it says, Jesus got into the boat again and went back to the other side of the lake, where a large crowd gathered around him on the shore. Then a leader of the local synagogue arrived. When he saw Jesus, he fell at his feet, pleading fervently with him. "My little daughter is dying," he said. "Please come and lay your hands on her. Heal her so she can live." Jesus went with him, and all the people followed, crowding around him. A woman in the crowd had suffered for 12 years with constant bleeding. She had suffered a great deal from many doctors, and over the years she had spent everything she had to pay them, but she had not gotten any better. In fact, she had just only gotten worse. She had heard about Jesus, so she came up behind him through the crowd and touched his robe. You see, for she thought to herself, "Oh, if only I can just touch the hem of his robe, I know I will be healed." Immediately, the bleeding stopped, and she could feel in her body that she had been healed of her terrible condition. Jesus realized at once that healing power had gone out from him. So he turned around in the crowd and asked, "Who touched my robe?" His disciples said to him, "Look at this crowd, Lord. There's people everywhere. We're bumping into everybody. How can you ask, 'Who touched me?'" But he kept on looking around to see who had done it. Then the frightened woman, trembling at the realization of what had happened to her, came and fell to her knees in front of him. Okay, let's stop for a second. How many of us can relate to that? How many times have we came and fell at the feet of Jesus, fall into our knees at our gratefulness of our needingness of him? So she fell to her knees in front of him and told him what she had done. And he said to her, "Daughter, your faith has made you well. Go in peace. Your suffering is over." While he was still speaking to her, messengers arrived from the home of the leader of the synagogue. And they told him, "Your daughter is dead. There is no use troubling the teacher now." But Jesus overheard them, or some translations say Jesus ignored them and said to him, "Don't be afraid. Just have faith." Okay, so I want to pause real quick there. And I just really want to highlight the patience of Jesus here. Okay, he is so patient, y'all. Here he is, he's being pulled in every direction from the leader of the synagogue. He's focused, he's following him to go heal his daughter. And yet while he's doing that, the woman who had been bleeding comes and touches his robe, and he feels the healing power go out. So, he stops and he's talking with her and, going through that whole deal. And I'm certain that as he was walking, I'm sure there's people constantly talking to him and calling out to him, "Jesus, heal me of this or heal me of that." And so for me, it makes me think of my children. There are times where one of my kids will come up to me, and ask me to help them do something. And so I'm focused, I'm helping them with whatever it is. And then one of my other kids come up and they interrupt and they start talking to me and asking me, for whatever assistance they might need. And so then, I kind of stop for a second and I'm helping them, trying to figure out whatever it is, while also thinking in my brain about what I was just helping this other child doing. And then, of course, that child is like, Mom, hello, I asked you first. And, that's how I begin to feel. I'm like, oh my goodness, you are driving me crazy. There's only one of me. But you see, not Jesus. Not our Jesus. He is so patient and so kind and so good. Even though he was being pulled in all these directions, never once did he get grumpy. Never once did he lose his cool or say, there's not enough of me to go around. No. He remained calm and patient and loving. And y'all, that's the kind of God we serve. He is so good. Just like he is good here when we read it, he is still that good today. He is patient, and his love knows no boundaries. He is good, and I pray that you would experience that. I pray that you, just like myself, would be reminded daily at how good he is and how patient he is. And just like he talked to her and said, your faith has made you well, go in peace, your suffering is over. I just want to be an encouragement to you and remind you that Jesus is here for you. Don't give up. Seek him out. And I promise you, you will never be sorry. Jesus never wastes any of your pain. He is there for you and he loves you.